Good day, everybody. On my way to the park with little Miss Kenzie. She's got her nose out the window. Anyway, just wanted to do a quick channel announcement. Tomorrow night we are going to be having another Ammunation live stream. It'll be myself, Irving Twin, and special guest, if the stars align, Mr. Pox Toxic is going to be joining us. Now, I haven't had a lot of dealings with Mr. Pox Toxic. I did a search. He has a YouTube presence, but he doesn't have any videos up. So he exists on YouTube, but I don't see any videos. So maybe YouTube took him down. I have no idea. But anyway, he's going to be joining us. Irving has some things he wants to talk about. I have some things I want to talk about. So join us tomorrow night. Probably get started around 10:30 or 11. But I'll create the event when I get back from the park tonight, and set a time in stone for the stream. I don't know if there's anything else I really want to talk about today. The subject of tomorrow night is going to be with regards to the push for vaccine passports in Canada, and I guess I could talk briefly about what a lot of people online are saying about Canada. People are comparing Canada to Australia, how it's turning into this authoritarian dystopia. I'm not inclined to disagree. I don't think we're quite at Australia levels yet, but we're getting there. If you listen to the rhetoric of Prime Minister Hare there, it sounds like, you know, he wants to institute more authoritarian decrees to people. Elections coming up. I encourage you all to go out there and vote for anyone but the Liberals. That's something I could talk about real quick. Everybody talks about vote splitting. Everybody says, oh, if you vote for PPC or you vote for one of these third parties, Libertarian Party, whatever, you're just wasting your vote. And you're splitting the conservative vote. That's something Michaela Peterson said recently on Viva's podcast, or Viva's, I think it was a sidebar with Michaela Peterson on Viva Fry's channel. She says, I like them, but I'm worried about splitting the conservative vote. And Viva made a good point. No, at this point, based on Aaron O'Toole's rhetoric and his policy positions, if anything, he's splitting the liberal vote. I'm sure there's a lot of disaffected liberals out there, traditionally liberal voters, who are looking what's going on and looking at what Justin Trudeau's been doing and looking at all the scandals associated with the Trudeau regime, and are thinking, you know what, I can't in good conscience support these guys anymore. So I'm going to go with Aaron O'Toole, who's like slightly more sensible, slightly more seasoned, slightly more reasonable Justin Trudeau. And I've been saying that all along, that the Conservatives are hardly a conservative party. So I'm voting PPC, and of course people say, well, that's vote splitting and you shouldn't vote PPC because you're just basically handing a win to Justin Trudeau. I highly doubt that my one vote is going to make a difference. I only have one vote, and as far as I'm concerned, the Conservatives haven't earned it. Not based on Aaron O'Toole's track record, not based on Andrew Scheer's track record, not based on anything the Conservatives have been doing since Harper left office. I wasn't a huge fan of Harper. I didn't have a hate on for him the way other people did. I understood the dissatisfaction with Canadians with Stephen Harper. Here's the thing: when you get a prime minister in office for more than 8 years, which is considered 2 terms, and he was in there for like 9 or something, people are bound to become tired of it, and it becomes a change election whenever one is called or whenever one happens. The reason I think Trudeau is likely to lose or likely to win, I don't know, it's tough to say. Snap elections are not popular with the general population. People don't like it when prime ministers call a snap election. It's their right as the sitting prime minister, whether they're in a minority or majority government. They have the right to call an election. They can call them as often as they want. I think they can call them as long as they've been in office for at least, I want to say 6 months, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 1 year, I don't know. But they don't have to be in office very long to call a snap election. As a matter of fact, I think Chrétien got reelected And then less than a year later, he called another election. And I think that's when Harper won, but was it Harper? I think that's when the Conservatives won. I can't be certain though. In any event, one vote, you have one vote, and your one vote is not going to turn an election. It's very unlikely that any election is won by a single vote. It's possible, I guess, mathematically, but my one vote is mine to give to whoever I think is the best candidate or whoever I think aligns with my values. And at this point, it's the PPC. And I had the honor and distinction of speaking briefly with my local rep, Mr. Jubenville, Gilbert Jubenville, of the PPC, and you know what? He seems like a solid stand-up guy. When I met him a few years back when he first ran, I was, you know, he seemed a little bit more jaded by the whole thing. He knew that it wasn't going to go anywhere, but he seems very optimistic now. And I'm very optimistic when you got guys like David Freitag, I don't know how to say it, running in Quebec there, who has a solid presence. Apparently he's got an uphill battle. I guess the guy he's running against is very well liked. I have no idea. I'm not up on Quebec politics. I'm barely up on Canadian politics. But I think we've got a better chance this time around of the PPC making some gains. Now, here's the thing about Maxime Bernier and the PPC. The people who are committed to that party, I don't see them, you know, even if it's a repeat of the last election where they don't gain a single seat, and they garner less than 1% or 3% or 4% of the vote. I don't know. I think it was 4%, but I could be wrong. I don't see them turning tail. I don't see them quitting anytime soon. The Green Party took forever to make any gains in Canada, and now they've got 2 reps sitting in Ottawa. I think it's 2, maybe 3. Anyway, they've got at least a rep in Ottawa. It's not a race, right? It's a long marathon. So if you are liberty-minded, I strongly encourage you to vote PPC. My folks, who are as normie as you can get, who are as, you know, propagandized as you can get. They watch CBC News. They watch regular mainstream news. They're not up on much of anything outside of what they're told in the mainstream news. They're disillusioned with the Liberal government. They don't like the Liberal government. And I don't think it has to do with COVID measures. I think it has to do with the fact that Justin Trudeau has proven himself to be completely untrustworthy, completely bought and sold. And yeah, I said, well, if you don't know who you're going to vote for, if you haven't made up your mind yet, I'm sending you a link to the PPC. See if their values align with your values. I'm sure you have a rep in your area. They've got 300 reps across 338 ridings. So, you know, the chances are they have a rep in their area. I'd like to turn people on to the PPC, get as many people voting PPC as I can. I think I've got a friend, a local friend, who I play role-playing games with on a bi-weekly basis. I think he's voting PPC. I think he's fully aware that our rep in this area doesn't have a chance of winning against the incumbent. But it doesn't matter. You know, I think he's of the same mind as me, you know. He's got one vote, so he's going to put it towards the candidate that best represents his values. And over the years, his values haven't really changed much. But the political landscape sure has. Anyway, vote PPC, or vote for whoever you've already decided you're going to vote for. But if you haven't decided, give the PPC a look. You'll probably find yourself agreeing more than disagreeing with their platform. Anyway, I'm at the park now. It's a lot longer than just a channel announcement, but that's okay. You all have a great night, and I hope to see you in the Ammunation, I think it's volume 14 now, live stream tomorrow night with Irving Twin. And like I said, if the stars align, Mr. Pox Toxic as well. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.